Hi, everybody. It's Rodney Rissanen for another episode of Rodney's Life Lessons. Today, I'm going to sort of try and tie a lot of the videos that I've shared earlier together, like our ego and gratitude and anger. So, I'm going to call this one The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly of Being Human. And I'm going to start with the ugly and then the bad and end in good. So we have that little bit of hope at the end. And I'm going to make two videos of this one. This is going to be the longer version. And then I'm going to create a one under 10 minutes that I can share to TikTok and stuff like that. So first of all, I don't think any of us can claim to be perfect. I don't think any of us can claim to be without fault, without sin. And I know for sure that we've all got a past. So I'm gonna get into it. I'm gonna talk about the ugly first. The ugly is things like those really negative, bad emotions that have ended up with negative consequences for us by us acting on those emotions. So we can be angry. We can be angry all the time at everybody and everything. And it'll affect our relationships, it'll affect our friendships, it'll affect our job, and how much responsibility is given to us, how we react, how we respond to situations. And very often these ugly aspects of ourself is because of how we are feeling on the inside, because of it's almost a shame and a guilt, and it could be a lot of wounds, a lot of injuries, a lot of hurt. It may have been the way that my father used to get so angry the veins on his forehead would stick out and spittle would be flying from his mouth, and I used to think, this is so wrong for you to. There was many times that I would look at the way my father acted and says, that is one way that I'm never going to be. I'm never going to be that way to my children, to my spouse. And yet, there was many times that I found myself saying and doing the same things that he did. And it's like, so for many parts of this, there's an unlearning process. There's a cleansing. There's a need and a requirement that we sort of wipe the slate clean and start over. And how do we do that? So now I'll go to the bad. So how do we wipe that slate clean? How do we start over? Well, it's all an internal process. It's decisions we make on a daily basis. Now, this is going to be a fairly big one because the bad in our lives has become somewhat normal and acceptable in society. And yet all we need to do is take one look at society and see where they're at and the state of things. And the way children are acting now, and we know that something's not working. Only in the last 20, 30 years, society has very quickly crumbled. I know my parents, like I'm 56, my parents are in their 70s, and there was a lot more morals. There was a lot more decency and respect. Like, people didn't wear pajamas out to grocery stores. You dressed up. You see, how we appear on the outside is how we're going to feel on the inside. How clean our home is, how chaotic our home is going to affect how clean we feel, how chaotic we feel. So the bad is, we really need to, at every point in our lives, make the right decision. Now, initially, this is a very hard process because we're used to doing things a certain way. We really are. We're used to reacting a certain way. We're used to responding. We're used to the way we were raised, the way our parents taught us, the way our parents reacted. We're just mirroring that. But more often than not, like, being an adult doesn't come with a handbook. You can go to a church and be religious all you want, but it still is up to you. It's still up to us to make those correct decisions. We can get all the knowledge, all the information that we need, but until we start applying that to our lives, nothing is going to change. So let's talk about diet. It is impossible to feel healthy emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and physically if you have a very poor diet. You really have, we are machines. Our body needs fuel. And if you put water into a gasoline engine, it's not going to work. You put dirty fuel into it, it may work, but it eventually it's going to clog up and stop working. It's going to seize up if you don't have the coolant, if you don't have X, Y, Z, proper ingredients for all other mechanical machines and applications, they're not going to work. So why do we think that we can continually consume what we know is like bad food, like fast food, like McDonald's? This food doesn't spoil. You can come back after 5 years and the food is still there, and the bacteria, the bugs, the flies, the rodents, they won't eat it because they recognize the poison for what it is. So this is not, please don't think that I'm lecturing, but we need some common sense. Like I walk between 3, 4, 5, up to sometimes 8 miles a day. I go on long hikes. I take the dog, young dog, athletic dog, I walk as fast as I can because I'm getting a little bit older and I want to stay healthy. So it is up to me. These are decisions that I need to make sure that I stay healthy. So if I if today, if I ate a couple bags of chips and had some processed food, tomorrow my energy, instead of being a 9 or a 10, it would be a 1 or a 2. I would literally feel sluggish because our body uses the food that we eat today tomorrow for fuel. It processes it. Now we can have fast acting energy drinks and pre-workout drinks and stuff like that, and they will work now because they're designed for that, and it's usually like a drink or a banana or something. But for our muscles to have the strength and the stamina, we need to, on a consistent basis, eat healthy. I've worked with addicts a lot for years, and sugar is a big addiction. It actually lights up the same part of your brain as heroin does. And one of the challenges that we would give people in recovery is go 5 days without any sugar, like nothing in your coffee. Don't eat any chocolate bars, and then on the weekend, knock yourself out. Eat as much as you want, and the body will you'll get sick. There's an ingredient in many colas, like Coca-Cola, called phosphoric acid. What this does is there's so much sugar in a can of Coke that your body would naturally vomit it up. The phosphoric acid in the Coca-Cola tricks your body into being able to consume the sugar. So, like, I've been vegan for years, vegetarian for years before that. My beautiful wife has been vegan since she was 17. She's in her 40s now. And this is because we recognize the health benefits. Like, we're very health conscious. We're ingredient readers on the back. And it costs more. It does. And you can't, I'll go to a barbecue. What can I have to eat? I don't know. Salad? Well, yeah, but there's eggs in it. Well, I don't know. Piece of bread? Yeah, but there's butter on it. So it does make life more difficult. But there's a really good book. It's called The Body Keeps Score. Everything that you eat, everything that you take in to your body accumulates. What I say to people that I teach and mentor is how you treat your body for the first 50 years is how your body treats you for the second 50 years. The Greeks say we are in our prime in our 50s. And I really do feel strong. I'm mentally alert. I'm focused. I have so much experience. I've done so many things. I walk, miles and miles and miles every day. And I wouldn't be able to do any of this if my diet wasn't in check. So I'm not telling anybody that, you're doing this wrong, you're doing that wrong. What I'm encouraging you to do is to change your habits if you want to change the way you feel mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and physically. And eating, everything begins at the end of your fork. Your health will you stop all the colas, you stop all the heavy sugar, ice cream and pastries and chocolate bars and but it's okay every once in a while. Have a small slice of cake once a week. Why not? It's not gonna. But when you have, you eat a half a cake every day, you're gonna get sick. Your body is going to get sick, and you will suffer. You won't be able to be mentally alert. You'll be more susceptible to negative emotions, to lower vibrational feelings, and everything will just slow down. We won't be able to operate at our optimum that we are designed as humans to be. So that's a bit on diet and how it is bad. It is really, really bad if we consistently eat unhealthy, processed, sugary foods, or drink excessive amounts of alcohol, or even smoke cigarettes, or and even cannabis. Cannabis can be used in very moderation. Like, we're talking maybe one cannabis cigarette a day at night to maybe help you sleep. But anything other than that, see, the bad are the decisions that we make on a daily basis. So, we start with our diet. We watch everything that we take in. I really try as hard as I can. Like, I don't really have any addictions. I hate when people say, oh, everyone's got an addiction. Someone, you drink coffee. I didn't like hearing that. So I drink coffee, but maybe I'll have 1 cup a day. I'll go days, weeks without having any. I don't want to have any addictions. I don't want any food or any other substance to have a hold on me that I need to have that. Oh, I'm craving that. I don't want that. This is my body. These are my choices. It's my decision. I don't want something pulling me like, oh, I'm just jonesing like crazy for a chocolate bar or a coffee or a cigarette. I don't want anything to have that kind of hold on me. These are bad things. These are bad things if you don't have control. There's a saying, control your mind before someone else does. And I'm going to add before something else does as well. So more with the bad. We are faced with decisions daily. Like, I'm just going to rattle off a bunch. Like don't steal. Don't steal. Don't lie. Don't say, if it's not true, then don't say it. Don't, talk smack about anybody. Even I'm reading a lot, and I'm reading, transcendental meditation, and we have to be so on guard that even our thoughts are pure and divine and for each and other's highest good. And this stuff is not impossible. What's impossible is to do it overnight. This takes years and years and years and years of work, of meditation, of making the right decision, of doing the right thing at all times. Like, don't speed, don't steal, don't lie. Like, work as hard as you can at your job. Don't, take unnecessary breaks. That's stealing. You're stealing the time of the employer, right? So there's crossroads. You always must do the right thing. You really, really must. Because when we, do the bad thing, when we make the wrong decision, then we feel guilt. We feel guilt, right? And then, maybe we feel shame. We did something immoral that we knew was wrong, but our body got the best of us and we did it anyways. And now we're ashamed of ourselves. And when you have these sort of emotions brewing inside of you, then you're going to get the ugly. You're going to lash out. You're going to snap at people. You're going to be angry because we're angry at ourselves. This is really what it all boils down to, folks, is the relationship with ourselves. We have to learn to treat ourselves with respect and honor and integrity. Food and always do the right thing. You may slip up, and that's okay, right? We are human. This is a process. It is a long process. But see, I'm going to talk about the good now. So when we recognize the ugly as a result of the bad, then we can start taking control of that. And when we start making the right decisions, we start experiencing the good. We start experiencing our higher spiritual self. We start being able to look in the mirror. We start getting control over our ego and our knee-jerk reaction, and we just let it go. It's not worth getting mad over. And as time progresses, as you continually make these right decisions, you're going to start feeling better. There's going to be less shame. There's going to be less guilt. And it's a beautiful snowball effect. Once you touch on those beautiful divine feelings, it's like, oh, I feel so good. What can I do to make sure that stays? And then you realize, well, it's because I made this decision. And, I feel good. I feel good inside. It's like, I wonder what will happen if I start making more of the right decisions. And then you start feeling better and better and better inside. It truly is a snowball effect. You start eating healthier, you start feeling better. It's like, I don't hurt. My knee doesn't hurt anymore. It's like, well, you were eating so much sugar and these things. One molecule of sugar requires 27 molecules of magnesium to process in your body. One molecule of refined sugar, like glucose and all those other ones, require 57 molecules of magnesium. 90% of the population is magnesium deficient. These causes all sorts of aches and pains and sluggishness, and look it up. Look how important magnesium is, and you will realize that I need to stop sugar. I need to stop sugar, and I don't eat hardly any sugar, and I'm very aware of it, because the moment I do, my phantom limb pain goes through the roof, almost unbearable. I'm white-haired. I'm not even 60 years old. That is because of the level of pain that I go through and my phantom limb pain. My right hand feels like it's in a vice and someone is jumping on the handle. Like I've broken other bones and doctor says, "Oh, tough guy." I says, "Doc, this arm hurts more than that broken arm does." So I really had to be conscious and aware about my diet. I'll use salad. And I go, "Man, that salad dressing had sugar in it. I can feel it. It just aches and aches and aches." So I take magnesium supplements every day. I take a couple of them. There's one magnesium, calcium, and zinc, magnesium oxide, and I take another magnesium glycinate. There's about 10 different forms of magnesium. So when you become very health conscious, you eat healthier. When you intake something that's not healthy, your body feels like crap. Like really, it's like, ugh, I feel gross. But you need to be eating healthy for a while to feel that. And when you feel that, it's like, why do I want to feel that way when I can feel so healthy and so vibrant if I eat healthy? And that goes to our mental aspect as well, our emotional and our spiritual. When you always make the right decision, you don't lie, you don't steal, nothing. Like, if it's not yours, don't take it. Period. Nobody may see, but you see. Creator sees, our ancestors see, and then they niggle. It's like, why did you do that, Rodney? Well, you knew that's wrong. Why did you do that? And then you start feeling guilt and shame. So just don't do it. It's really very easy. Like every moment of every day. Like don't watch porn. Don't swear. Like I struggle with that one, but I try not to. Calling myself out here. Like every little thing, like be pure in thought and action, word and deed. It's not impossible, but it's gradual. Like you start with mirror work. Every morning I get up, I says, "I love you, Rodney. You're a good man." I look myself right in the eye when I say that. You got to start believing in yourself. You got to start loving yourself. You got to start realizing that you are a divine temple, that we are capable of amazing things. There's a program in Transcendental Meditation, which is the ancient Vedic teaching, which they teach about siddhis. And siddhis is the yogic abilities to do things that most people don't think that we're capable of doing. And I'm talking things like levitation. This is documented, scientifically proven. And this is why a lot of these cultural practices like yoga and meditation are frowned upon by the church, because we realize our true potential. Even the Bible talks that we were made in the image of God. And we're not going to ever feel that and touch on that if we're continually doing the wrong thing that we know, and we're doing that. If we continually eat food that is poisoning our body, we need to get on top of all of it. Like your health is the most important one that you can tangibly work on. Like don't eat junk food. Just don't eat it. And if you do, don't have a big bag of chips. Maybe have a couple chips. And if you do have a bag of chips, maybe once a month or something like that. This cannot be your regular diet. Plant-based. Dr. Sebi, who has very powerful healing abilities, he was charged by the FDA claiming that he could cure cancer and heart disease and diabetes and many other things. And he won. He won in a court of law because he can. And how is that possible? You eat an alkaline diet. Dr. Victor Otto in the 30s won a Nobel Peace Prize for discovering no disease, including cancer, can exist in an alkaline diet. You get a pH testing little machine. You take a little pee on it and it tells you your pH. You keep your pH between 7 and 7.5 and you are going to be incredibly healthy. There are so many things that we are able to do. Nothing people say, oh, I can't do that, I can't change that. We need willpower. We really do. It's like, do you really want to go through life feeling aches and pains and sluggish and anxiety and anger and fear and worry? No, we don't. Nobody does. We want to feel healthy. We want to feel positive. We want to feel joy and happy. The reason we're here is to evolve as human beings, evolve our soul. And we have to give our soul and our body every opportunity to do that. And if we, if we're unhealthy, we're not going to be able to do that. If we're constantly knowingly doing the wrong thing, we're not going to be able to do that. We're not going to feel the glory of a relationship with Creator as we're meant to. You may be religious, you may believe, but your body and your mind are so distracting because it's so unhealthy and so much pain, you're not going to enjoy those benefits of that relationship with a higher being. So I hope that this offered a little bit of insight and guidance in the good, the bad, and the ugly, and how we are actually in control of all of these, and we need to take that control back and not say things like, I'm addicted, I can't ever stop. You need to. If you want to feel healthy, if you want to live a long, healthy life, you need to. If you want your children and grandchildren to see you and to be able to go play catch and to go for walks, we need to. Love you guys. I'm going to make a shorter video as well about this that I can share on TikTok and stuff like that. Please comment how this video may have impacted you. And please like, share, and subscribe. Take care. Love you guys. Bye.